Oh, yeah, fish on, baby. Well, g'day folks, welcome back to another video. Look at this day. Have a go at it. About 19 degrees, start of spring. Beautiful. We're down at Lake Tyers, and I wasn't going to do a video, but started to catch a couple of fish on a really shallow, weedy flat on Daiwa 60mm double clutch in laser AU colour. So I thought I'd just try and film a few. Didn't get the hook up on this one, but he's annihilated that one. Nice little bream. So there he is. It's a nice little fish, probably mid to high 30s, and he's nailed that double clutch right there on this flat. So I'll get him in the well and we'll tell you what we do. Alright, so what I've got is a point over here, and then it comes around really shallow, like I don't know, 5 inches until the top of the weed, and then it's quite thick weed, and then as it comes down here where we are, the weed shallows off. So we're sitting in 2 to 2.5 meters, and don't know whether you can tell, but there's broken ground weed and a little bit of bait fish flicking up over there. And yeah, I've just had 2 fish in about 3 casts, so we'll drift down around here and we'll see if we can get some more. Hey guys, I just wanted to show you an area that I was fishing these shallow jerk baits yesterday at Lake Tyers. So this is the area. I've just brought you on Google Earth. I'm actually holding the camera, so if it's a bit shaky, bear with me. So the first place I stopped was on this point. So when I came around here with the boat, there was a large amount of shallow weed, pretty much comes all the way out here. And then what happens is it drops off over in this area, and it becomes patchy weed with sand flats in about that 1.5 to 2 meters depth. So what I did was just work my way across through here towards the bank, and then back down this way, just flicking those 64mm, I think they are, the Daiwa Double clutch in laser AU. So just working it above the top of the weed beds, and I picked up a couple of nice fish. I think I got 3 fish off that point, so that was awesome. Technique wise, I was just casting it out and letting it sit for a little bit, and then just on a slack line, just a couple of sharp rips, and then just let it sit there for a few seconds, and then again a couple of sharp stabs, just get that lure really jerking around side to side. And yeah, did that all the way back to the boat, and I was just using the electric motor, because when I fished this point there was no wind, so just working my way through. So that's a good area, something like that, if you bring up Google Earth on your location that you're going to fish, and see where your little areas like this that might be worth marking and paying a visit on your trip. That's what I'm using, Daiwa Double clutch 60mm in a natural bait fish, minnow or garfish kind of presentation. I'm just casting as long as I can. Normally I'd be like to use straight through fluoro, but I forgot my reel. So I'm just going to drift on number 2. There's no real wind, so just pushing through here on number 2 on the Minn Kota, and I'm just doing a couple of twitches and then just letting it sit. Twitch. It's a suspending lure, so that lure is just sitting, like hovering where it is in the water column, just above that weed. Hopefully we get a clunk. But yeah, I've That's a fish. Oh, it's a good one. That didn't take long. Just a tiny little tap one, that it. Yeah, there we go. Number 3. Twitching the clutch. Not a very big fish, but very chunky and healthy. He's T-boned it straight at the front treble. That's when you know they want it, they're not just pecking at it. Oh, these hooks are terrible. There you go, another nice bream. He'd be nice. 39 centimetres. The other one must be 40. My eyes out. But it was a mid 30s. Right, so the next area that I fished was this sand flat with a weedy drop off. So I'll just zoom in a little bit. Bear with me. Yeah, so what we had here was a very shallow, obviously these things are going to change week to week depending on rain and tide and entrance open, closed, etc. This was very shallow, 10 mil, you know, to probably 100 mil of water on that whole, that lighter area there, that flat. So what I did is I worked the boat along here and targeted this drop off. You can clearly see there the darker edge, so that's just a drop off as it gets deeper and deeper, and I think out here I was sitting in about 3 or 4 meters of water. So I was working the edge here and casting the lure up onto this shallow bit and just hopping it off, and you'll see in the footage of this exact spot where it's just, I've jerked the lure off this bank here, it's probably about here, and a bream's come up and crunched it. So that's really good footage, and more, you know, you got to try and find that depth. That lure dives down to 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters if you really rip it down and use light line. So this is perfect area around here, 2 meters depth, 1 to 2 meters depth. So that was the second bream that I've got on footage for you, which we'll put up now. Yep, there's one. Bang, right on the edge of that weed. How good is it in the clear water? Shut up out of the weed. Bang! He's wrapped up. There's another decent one. Oh, T-boned it, look. Wow, look at that. Buried it. And the third fish that you see is caught off this point here. So this wall here goes all the way along, so I started pretty much all the way up the other end, a couple of 100 meters away, and I worked this. You can see this drop off here, goes from fairly shallow, very rocky, weedy area up close to the bank, and then drops off onto a nice sandy and weedy patch flat there. So I drifted with the wind. The wind actually picked right up at this point, so you'll have to bear with the wind noise. Just drifted down here targeting this drop off, and then I believe I got to about here somewhere, and I flicked it up onto this nice sand spit point here and pulled another decent bream off it. So yeah, that was that one. Same again, you got that depth for the lure to work. It's optimum 1 to 2 meters, so you're targeting that depth. There's no point fishing 5-6 meters with a lure that only dives down to 2 meters, because you're going to be nowhere near the structure and nowhere near the holding fish. So think about your depths, think about the fish that you're targeting, and choose those lures. Your lure depth, all the specs come on the boxes of the lures. If not, Google it. And yeah, pick the right lure. This was a very small natural bait fish looking profile that caught the fish, and it's got a beautiful metallic body, and it puts the right flash. This was very clear water and a very sunny day, and it put a really good flash, so it really attracts the fish. There you go. Love it when a plan comes together. That's the bait. That's the bag. Another healthy high 30s. Alright folks, so I hope you've enjoyed that bit of a video. You know, a few of the areas that you can try and really use Google Earth to locate, no matter what system. If you want to try and use jerkbaits, pick some areas before you get to your new destination and give them a whirl. Take a couple of lures, different colors, something will work on the day, and then the next day the other color might work. So have a few options, have a few depths to cover, you know, 4 or 5 meters up to half a meter, and yeah, just work those lures, just little taps if you've got the suspending or slow floating jerk baits. Couple of taps of the rod and just pause, and hop. Quite often on the pause is that when you're going to get your bites. So hope this video helps. Thanks for watching again. I know it's been a while, and yeah, I've had a few commitments happening of late, so please bear with me. I'm going to try and get some more videos up, and hopefully yeah, hit the like, subscribe, and hope you enjoy the content.